My name is Rosina. I'm a banker, I'm a biker, an event planner. I let one out. Salsa dancer. Let's go again, don't worry.
You will learn a thing or maybe
I am a banker, I am a biker, an event planner, a salsa dancer, and also a relationship expert.
from money to relationship.
This is an official welcome to my YouTube channel, Salsa Rosie. I'm a salsa dancer, instructor, and choreographer. I've been doing that for so many years. There's a lot of tips that will be coming out on your financial issues, relationship issues, my biking lifestyle. I'm sure you'll be very interested. And trust me, I have strong opinions that will make you either excited, mad, happy, whatever it is. But you definitely take something away from this channel. Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Salsa Rosie. I'm a banker, I'm a biker, I'm an event planner, salsa dancer, instructor, and a relationship coach. This is the channel where I get to discuss issues mainly concerning relationships, some insight into my biking life, maybe some tidbits about dancing, general issues, and whatnot. You may like my opinion, you may not like it, but whatever it is, you will get it. Today, what are we having for today? Today we are talking about pretty red flags. Now, what do we mean when we say pretty red flags? Now, red flags usually are telltale signs in relationships where people tend to see that, no, this is a no-go area, this is a no-go zone, I need to exit this relationship. However, there are some red flags that present itself as green. And in the beginning, it might look like, oh, this is fantastic, this is wonderful, but you need to take a closer look to know that indeed, this is a red flag and not a green flag. Now let's go right into it. Red flag number one, too much attention. Now you have a partner who gives you excessive attention, wanted to know where you are, who you're with, what you've eaten, where you are going, who you're talking to, how long you slept, how much you spent eating, when you started driving from work, when you got home. Initially, it sounds like, oh, a gentleman or a lady who is just concerned about you, who wants to know what exactly is going on, wants to spend time with you, wants to be in your life. It's exciting, but low-key, this is actually a recipe for disaster, because this partner could be an obsessive partner who would not allow you to have time for yourself and would practically be a stalker getting down the line in the relationship. Number two, someone who constantly just talks about themselves. Now, there are people you meet, and on the first date, you know where he works, you know how much he earns, the influence he has, the people he knows. Do you know me? Now, in the beginning, you may be thinking you're dating a very important person, a rich person, someone who has it all. But then you realize that in your dating experience, your courting experience, all he talks about is himself. In fact, practically letting very little room for you to actually express yourself as who you are, for him to get to know you. So you realize that conversations are one way, everything is one way, he is the important person. Now, low-key, this is a selfish partner. Someone who always thinks about himself, does things how he wants to do it, and enjoys attention to himself. And as time goes on, don't be surprised if you go out into public and he probably doesn't even want to introduce you because he wants attention to himself. You go out and he hardly wants to, say that this is my wife. You go, this is my friend, or this is my partner or something, but he can't give you the proper title that you're supposed to be giving because all he wants is attention to himself and not to both of you. Pretty red flag number three. We are looking for people who are verbally abusive. Now, sometimes we tend to justify the verbal abusive outbursts of our partner when we feel they're in the right. So, for instance, we are driving, a car crosses you, and then they use all manner of unprintable languages. They get so angry. Okay, they're with friends, somebody upsets them, and they could be very close friends, very good friends, but they get upset. And then the way they are so verbal, they are so abusive, they say all manner of unprintable words, and yet they are very nice to you. They can never say anything bad to you. They are actually so sweet to you, but you observe them being very verbally abusive to people around them. In some cases, even their parents, their siblings, their very close friends, their work colleagues. It is just a matter of time till this verbal abusive nature tends to you. Why? Because it's in it. But because they are courting and then you're dating, They are trying to put their best foot forward. So they try as much as possible to control that edge, to verbally get abusive to you. But then sadly, because it is innate, it is their nature, you see them verbally abusing others easily. And this verbal abuse later on in life translates into physical abuse, because anybody who can abuse you verbally to a certain extent is not far from physically abusing you. So if you are dating somebody who is quick to get angry, quick to verbally abuse, especially those who are very close to him or her, be very careful. You are looking at an abusive relationship in the future. Sometimes you might think the verbal abuse is actually in defense of you. That is where you think it's pretty. Somebody has offended you and then they jump in to insult the person. Somebody has done something against you and then you jump in to defend the person. In your opinion, you think, well, they are looking out for me and this man will never allow anybody to do anything to me. But it's just a matter of time till this abusive nature does a 360 and looks right at you. Number 4. The fourth pretty red flag is not very common, but it does exist. So you have a partner who lies to everybody around them, who tells people how rich they are, but you know that he's not rich. He's pretending. He tells lies to very close friends. I mean, you sit down in his company with his friends, his colleagues, and when he starts chatting, you realize that everything he's saying is a lie. But guess what? He doesn't lie to you. He tells you the truth. So for instance, he's in Ghana, he says I'm in the US. You know that, but not everybody knows that he's in Ghana when he says he's traveled. He tells you people that, oh, I earn a 6-figure salary. Meanwhile, you know that, Charlie, he barely gets his way around. He sits down and says, oh, this person is my friend, my buddy, we went to school together. And yet you know that this is not true. He says these lies either to get attention, to get his way with other people, to make himself look relevant and whatnot. Now, you may console yourself in knowing that he doesn't lie to you. He tells you the true state of his affairs. He tells you exactly what is as far as you are concerned. And sometimes you watch him lie to his family and then he tells you the truth. So you feel that, you know what, I'm the one person that he truly loves, he truly cares about and wouldn't want to hurt. But it takes just something. When your time comes, your time is going to come. He will begin to lie to you and you wouldn't even know where it's coming from. You'll be amazed because there's a part of you that'll be telling yourself that, look, I know he lies to people, but he can't do this to me. I know he does this to people, but he cares about me too much. He can't do it to me. It's just a matter of time and then it's going to be your turn to do that. Pretty red flag number 5. Sometimes you have a partner who is just quick to apologize, doesn't want to dialogue, doesn't want to discuss the issues, the reason for an argument, because doing that is very difficult because it means admitting, it means doing a lot of things. But you have a partner who is just quick to apologize. Whatever your concerns are, baby, I'm sorry. Whatever your concern, baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. Without really getting into the bottom of the issue, why the argument is happening in the first place. Now, you might see it as someone who always throws in the towel, apologizes to you and wants peace to prevail. So you see this partner as a man of peace because he's always willing to apologize. In some cases, if it's a man, they tend to apologize with very expensive gifts, extremely expensive gifts. Why? Because that is the surest way to shut you down. Because once they do something so horrible, you start shouting, you start talking, you start arguing. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. Look, I bought you this. Look, I bought you that. Now, that is a sign of someone who is so materialistic. This person feels that every problem in this world can be solved with something material, i.e., it can be a phone, it can be a watch, it can be a car, it can even be a house, depending upon how deep his wallet is. Now, people like this, they don't take time to solve issues. They don't take time to dialogue with their partners. In the beginning, trust me, those little gifts come in handy. They come in very sweet. You tell your friends, oh, the last time when I snoozed, I screamed small, no, guess what? He bought me this phone. I mean, he did this. I didn't like drag to start talking. He just apologized and then gave me this, you know, this watch and the like. But you realize that as time goes on, you realize that the material gifts or the material apologies are not enough to really deal with the issues, because this person is going to be a repeat offender. They will continue to hurt you because one, they haven't even diagnosed the problem. They don't even know why they are hurting you. All they are doing is keeping you shut with a material gift so that you guys can move on as you are. Let's get to the 6th red flag. Now, this red flag is actually very sweet, because this is somebody who thinks ahead of you, always anticipates what you want even before you open your mouth that you want it. Now, the issue with this is that when you are dealing with this kind of man or woman in a relationship, you begin to lose yourself. So they get up and they decide what is good for you, when it is good for you, and how it has to be done. In the beginning, what you say is that this man or woman completes me. He understands me, she understands me, he gets me, she gets me. So you realize that you wake up in the morning, your Saturday is up, and then you get a call, babe, today, get up, get dressed, I bought you a dress, I bought you shoes, you're making up here and you're going here and you're going there. Once in a while, that's a fantastic surprise. But if it's becoming more than necessary every week, there's always something he's planning for you. So there's no place for yourself in a relationship, because trust me, before you get into a relationship, you need to have yourself. You need to be your complete self in order to complement who you're with. You're not looking for somebody to guide you, direct you, and complete you. So it is important that you be with somebody who allows you to be yourself. So when you're with somebody who is always completing your sentences, guessing what your next move is supposed to be, trying to do things, complete your day for you, schedule your day, schedule your month, schedule your day, your year, mind you, this could come off as a very controlling character in your life. And this is a pretty red flag you need to watch, because in this case, the convenience, you buy into the convenience, you buy into the fact that you don't even have to think, you don't even have to blink, and then it is done. As time goes on, you realize that you want a day off to probably go dancing, and he says, no, I planned for us to go and watch a movie today. The first time it might not be a problem, but my dear, if it happens 10 times, 15 times, 20 times in a month, you realize that you wake up in the morning and you can make no plans of yourself. You can't go where you want to go. You can't do anything you want to do unless he says so, unless he wants you to do it. And as time goes on, you begin to lose yourself. If that relationship doesn't work out, that's when you are left wanting with no friends, no life, and nothing to hold on to. Okay? Now let's come up with the final red flag. Now you meet a partner, or you meet someone that you're hoping to have a relationship with, and anybody in his life, I'm talking about all his exes in his life, were all horrible people. He has nothing good to say about them. You know, be very careful when you meet someone who says bad things about their ex and makes their ex look like so much of a horrible person and there was nothing good in them. Especially if they were dating the ex for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. What made them stay there so long? Yes, there may be 1 or 2 issues that arise. But when you meet a man or a woman who is always complaining about how horrible, completely horrible their exes are, be very careful. You might be the next ex with a horrible story. Yeah, so that brings the curtain down on the pretty red flags. Watch out for them. Be very discerning. Know when to know whether it is pretty or whether it is truly ugly. Once again, this is your girl, Salsa Rosie, your banker, your biker, your relationship coach, salsa dancer, salsa instructor, and event planner. If you do like this, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification button so that you can get more of this content every week. Thank you. Or every day, whatever. Is it okay? Okay. Salsa Rosie.